What up, guys? Welcome back to the Big Screen Show. I'm Alex.
And I'm Wyatt, guys. Welcome back. It's been a minute. We have been going through life. Alex has been out the country. I have been across the country in California and all types of other states this summer. And our boy Victor has been hard at work with school, and a long trip to Arizona too. So we've all been just doing stuff just on go. We're glad to be back with y'all with our review of Twisters, the second movie, man, and I was impressed by this one. Normally remakes not that great, but this one I feel like it hit. What did you think, Alex?
Oh yeah, actually, it's not really a remake. It's actually just like a sequel from like the original one from 1996. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was honestly surprised by how good I liked it. Like greater visual effects, a lot more improved of its writing and storyline, more diverse, dynamic characters, and especially how it really goes all in more for like the whole storm chasers, tornadoes and stuff, and like the community and like the greater level of devastation these tornadoes can cause and greater involvement. And so like and plus the music was amazing.
Man, the music was awesome. Got the graphic back up. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. But I want to touch on what you said about it not being a remake. And I do know it wasn't supposed to be a remake, but I feel like public perception of it and a lot of people that have went and saw the movie and have kind of given me their take and their review, because a lot of people have went and watched this movie. This has been pretty popular with just people in like my circle. um, so to them, everybody perceived it as like kind of like a remake of the original movie. And what do you feel? What do you feel? Do you feel like it was a remake after watching it, or do you feel like nah? So let's tackle that. Let's tackle that question off the rip, because I feel like that's the biggest question.
I will say when I first saw the trailer when it came out, I was thinking like, okay, it has that kind of similar vibe. But then after seeing the movie, it does have a lot of similarities with how the story structure, everything goes with from like the original film. So I can definitely see people's point of like seeing it as like a remake. But I will say it doesn't go like the exact same. It doesn't go like the exact same way as it would for like its regular remakes because it still has like a lot more stuff to say and it goes a lot more all in for like with all what Storm Chasers do and kind of goes like the more evolution of like how it's gone from like that decade in 1996 compared to now. Whereas that one, it was basically more on the original in 1996 was more about like trying to like do like more like tornado warnings, while this one is more like tornado prevention. And then from as
Real talk, man. It really goes into the changes of technology and just the changes of time from that movie. I will say, I did kind of perceive it as a remake even afterwards, but a remake done very uniquely and done right. They had just like perfect odes from the original Twister put into this one. Twists, changes, little literal twists, and changes through this movie that, man, really gave the original Twister its flowers while separating this movie at the same time.
yeah, it didn't try and go too much on the nostalgia or like even try to do anything like bringing like the original characters back to just kind of be like just kind of a fill in. They actually went all in on like these new characters, and again the
Hmm.
progression and show the progression from like how it went from that time into now. Because then we got like Glen Powell with this like Tyler character who basically does this YouTube of like being a tornado wrangler.
Yeah, man. Let's get into some spoilers because I really want to get into this movie. Do you want to go ahead and give your rating first?
Oh yeah, for me, I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. I gave it 8 out of 10 for like the original Twister movie when I watched it. When I actually finally watched it after all these years, but
Hmm.
I think what really stands up here is like again the actors, especially with like Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell as like, these like these people who like tornado chasers and have these like they're like intellectual equals, but then one has like more charm than the other. Well, one is still kind of reeling from like this kind of tragedy that happened in the opening of the movie, which we'll get to when we get to like these spoilers after we give our own thoughts. But again, like this music, the greater visual effects for like the tornadoes, which is just as more improved upon from the 1996 film, like how Planet of the Apes movie visual effects and everything just improved after so many years in time, like especially with like Kingdom for Planet of the Apes. But yeah, greater use of like the character. Again, a more modern update on like the on like devastation of like tornadoes, the tornado warning prevention, as well as the way that businesses and companies kind of do like more corporate profitization over like these like after these like damages, which we'll get into later. But all in all, yeah, great, and also again, great cast, amazing music, and yeah, greater visual effects, and just gives like whole full modern update to what was so good about the 1996 film, but also greater more emphasis on like again like the greater like community. And I really do like how everything like its location and settings like most is like practical for like most of everything. And again, it's basically was filmed in Oklahoma, just like the original, especially since like Oklahoma really is like more of the place that you hear like these tornadoes and stuff coming from most of all. I think from more than like any other state. So like this all in all, this movie just has like so many good strengths and stuff that feels fresh, but also has like the good necessary way of giving a good like homage or like good appreciation for like the original film.
Most definitely, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I gave this movie a 9.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I gave this movie a 9, man, simply because I watched the original one. I gave it a rewatch the night before, gave it an 8, and man, I kind of went into this one, and actually, when the movie started, I thought this was going to be a dud. To be honest, I did not think it was gonna go that well, bro. And went in there and was stunned with it. I was like, since I just watched the movie the night before, I could really like pick off the odes and pick off like what they took from the last movie and brought it into this one, and it was perfect. I haven't seen a remake like this in a minute. This is a remake done right. They did it unique, and it was just a great sequel, remake, whatever you want to call it. It was a great next for Twister. I gave it a 9. Yeah. There's no remake. I can't recall a remake that has been this good. All remakes have been terrible. So just in that, like they did it right. Hey, congrats to them. I forgot what the director's name on this thing, but
But yeah, the director
shout out,
is
shout out.
director is Lee Isaac Chung.
Okay, cool. No, like shout out to everybody in this movie. The cast was awesome and everything. 9 out of 10. Great. Yeah, awesome. I loved it. I was there.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so there, guys, we are
But
going to get
let's
into
get
our
into
spoiler warning.
spoilers.
Yeah, all right, guys,
Spo-
we're getting to our spoiler warning here for you. So, like, if you haven't seen the movie yet, and stop right here. But if you have seen the movie, we're going to continue on here, so you know what's up. Yeah, so let's go into like the opening.
Man, the opening. You can go ahead and start off, man.
Oh yeah,
If you
so
have any notes on the opening.
I would say the opening does like another good showcase of like the devastation and trauma of like what a tornado does, but again also gives greater insight into like the character Kate, played by Daisy Edgar Jones, who's like another tornado chaser, stone chaser, however you. And yeah, she basically had this whole idea of like how to like stop a tornado. Which again, for a minute there, I actually thought that she was actually going to be like the child of like Joe and Bill from like the original movie from 1996,
Oh
because
man.
in that original movie Bill had like this kind of sense of like being able to like tell like sense these tornadoes and like its direction, thing like that. But then when they brought in like Tyler, who kind of did the same thing, I was like, okay, so I guess they're very highly educated and just kind of learn to just feel it and everything. So like which I honestly do like how it doesn't go that way. It's like being like the offspring from these other original characters from the classics, which honestly is which you don't really see that often now much nowadays, where usually somebody's like the offspring of somebody from like the last earlier classic film. So like this is a
Hmm.
great new way to like give like these new original characters, but still giving like a nice good callback mention of what was going on in like the last film, which again, really smartly done.
No, they did it uniquely, bro. They did it uniquely. And can we tell about? Can we let's talk about this because this is what I wanted to get into. How they tricked us in the beginning. They tricked us. They brought this lame ass cast out. The the original team,
Yeah.
bro, that they introduced us to. That's why I thought this was gonna be a dud. I was like, bruh. I was like, no. I was like, this movie is gonna suck if this is the team that we're following. And that's what my expectations were low after like seeing that in the movie, and then they killed all of them off.
Yeah, except for one.
Yeah, yeah, except for one. But I thought that was so awesome, bro. I thought that was so unique, and I really think they did that on purpose to like catch the audience just like they did me and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you thought this was going to be about this team? Oh no, we switched it up. Bring these new guys in. Yeah,
Yeah, I
bring the
do.
bring the bring the real cast in."
Yeah, I did like how they did that, but also how I did like how they did that, but also like how they set up like Kate's arc. Because like from like the original film, where like Joe lost her dad from the tornado, and that made her want to be like a tornado chaser to try and work on like early prevention of tornadoes. But in this one, it's Kate where she had this great idea, but because of this one tragedy that she blames herself for, she decides to like just I'm done. I'm not
Yeah,
doing this
cut
job
that thing.
anymore. So like that's a really good flip side to this one. But yeah, this does pave the way for like the other great cast that we got with Glen Powell and his his tornado wranglers crew.
No, it set the stage, bro. It set the stage because his Tornado Wrangler crew was legit. Everybody had like just like a uniqueness to him, a great vibe to him, and even like the other guys' team had some really good. It had really good cast too because the Hispanic dude that was a member of her team that
Yeah,
survived, the one surviving member,
yeah, Javi.
even the
Yeah,
yeah, even the guy that was associated with him, his partner, and even the guy that was buying houses, they were cast very well, and the cast was great, bro. They really tricked us. They threw me for a loop, bro. Because like I said, I thought it was gonna be a dud, and man, turned out to be a great cast.
yeah. But I don't know. But also, thing we can really talk about for most of it is like the devastation and like this is like the scene I want to talk about the most that really stepped up the movie for me. To how it shows like it's definitely not going like it does in the original. Where we literally have Tyler and his tornado wranglers crew literally driving into the tornado and literally blowing off fireworks right into the suck zone in the funnel. That was like massive,
Bro,
insane.
I thought that was insane. I really thought the cast of even the guy that was doing the article, the reporter, was great. I really liked that the camera shots of them being on YouTube in that moment and then like switching up the camera shots to like them filming themselves even and stuff like that. Like, bruh. It was great. It was great how they did it. They did it kind of very uniquely. Some people said they were annoyed by the man, I forget his name. I'm terrible with names, man. Especially terrible with actors and actress names. But whoever the YouTuber was, the Tornado Wrangler, they thought he was annoying and stuff like that, but I really thought he was supposed to be over the top like that. Like this is like a Jake Paul type of guy, like he's a famous YouTuber and stuff like that, and this is like what he does like behind the camera. I really liked his character and I thought he played it well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because again, I know that people. I don't know. I'm surprised that anybody could really say that they hate him. But like within the movie, like Kate and her team with Javi and like people from Stone Par and everything, they were like, yeah, he's just a glory hound, just doing this like just for the thrill of it.
Hmm.
But really, and now normally any other movie would probably just make him like one dimensional like that, just someone who's like just there for like the fun of it. But no, he has more layers to him where he actually does care. Because like when tornadoes happen and like hit people's homes and stuff, him and his team are there just to help them and aid them with like food. And then again, he is a YouTuber and he has like his own merch and stuff like that, in which he does sell. But the money that he does make is to help the people in need with these after they get hit by these tornadoes. So like he's very layered. He's very intelligent. Again, he's a very intellectual equal to Kate, but again, he's more confident and he does come off as cocky, but he's got a good team. He's supportive and everything like that. He's basically like the Kate's opposite from after her tragedy, whereas
Mm-hmm.
she was like she kind of reserved and kept herself closed off, while he's just open and wild and just goes for it. Whereas she kind of lost her nerve sometimes.
Yes, I agree with you, and I really we can touch on this. It's kind of like the love story throughout it was really good. Like the love story really wasn't that corny, man. It was a good love story, a good dynamic between him and Kate, and I can't even lie, it made me want to go get booed up or something, man. It was a genuine love story, bruh. And yeah, they just did it. They just did it right without being corny, man. Because you feel like a movie like Twister's having like a love story behind it or whatever. You feel like it'll be corny, but I feel like they did the man. They had a love story in both of them, and I really feel
Yeah,
like the love stories in both of them were done great, and they were just totally different at the same time because in the first one they were going through the divorce and they had like to rekindle, and by the end of this journey that he randomly went on, they ended up back together. And with this one, they ended up going on a crazy journey together too. But I can't lie, from the beginning of the first movie, I could see it. I could be like, oh man, they about to get back together. Two totally different love stories, but both of
mm.
them were great. Which one do you think had the better love story in it?
I would say the one that had the better love story in it was the one in the original Twister film. Mostly because it gave off this like more unique romantic thing where like they are separated, but you can tell they still have this type of passion for it because do like their passions like like these chasing tornadoes. But the way they go off with trying to get this love story off the ground isn't done in like the normal cliche way where they argue back and forth like they standoffish, but like no, they like know each other so well, and because they have this shared insanity of like doing this job, but also because like they work so well together and kind of know each other's like tidbits and everything like that. When they just
Hmm.
kind of bounce off each other really good, and it's like really done impressively well, like really, really, really good. And it's like again, it's not really done like in a cliche way. It's very unique.
Man, I agree with you. I do think the love story in the first one is a little bit better, but I did enjoy them both. I guess there's so much more tension in the first one because, like, you got the dude's like wife that he just engaged to, or he just got married to, or he's trying to get married to right here, along for the ride with them, and there was just a little bit more tension there. So, first one has the better love story, but both of the love stories are on point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the original it was because he had more of that history. Well, so this one in Twisters, it's new, but you can still feel like them kind of learning more about each other and going off of the shared passion for this whole like tornado chasing thing. Because again, I
Hmm.
think down
Hmm.
to it, that's what it all comes down to. They're all crazy for chasing tornadoes, and that's what brings them together.
That is what brings them together, keeps them together, bro. And you can really tell how close knit everybody is. And man, with both movies, I really enjoyed the cast and the crew of both movies, man. Man,
Yeah.
anything else, anything you want to touch on, and what you want to go to next?
One other thing I do want to add is basically how like both the original movie and Twisters does the whole like corporate privatization thing. Whereas in Twister, it was basically about this nightcrawler news reporter who's basically stole Bill's idea and is basically using it for profit to get greater attention. And again, that was
Hmm.
a good idea and also great like a good small time enemy that's more of an inconvenience. While in Twister, it goes a lot more. where it goes like we literally have this company who's basically going to these lands in Oklahoma that's been hit by tornadoes and basically buying up the land for profit, whereas people are losing their homes and stuff like that. Which again is actually it's pretty much relatable to what happens today now. So that creates a much more greater emphasis on what the devastation of a tornado can do, not just emotionally but also financially.
That did throw a different aspect at us, man. I really respect that they put that aspect in of that guy coming in and buying up the land, taking advantage of people that have just lost their homes and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. One thing I want to touch on is how they flipped it. So like in the first one, like their crew didn't have any of the cash or anything like that, and the other crew was the team with all the money and stuff like that. And I really like how they flipped it, especially in the beginning, because at the beginning, like their team had all the money, their team had all the devices, they had multiple crews pulling up, putting these devices down to track this tornado, and it was like they flipped the story. Oh, now the main character has all the cash, and you're seeing the point of view from the I guess it was the antagonist, that the team of tornado wranglers that didn't have all the wealth and didn't have all this equipment and stuff like that, but was still out there doing their thing. And I really enjoyed that at the beginning. I'm like, oh, they flipped it.
Yeah, I really like that, especially when they had the moments like where they were both competing to chase after a tornado. It was like really a thrill of the chase thing situation, and it's
Mhm.
honestly what brought Kate out of her shell to really get back into like the whole tornado chasing scene because like the
Mhm.
competition and the fact that Glenn Powell's character Tyler just basically just keeps trying to like antagonize her like to get it right out of her just to try and get to know her, but she kind of sees that as like just some glory hound just trying to gain something for profit and not doing much of anything.
Yeah, yeah. She definitely was reading them right at first. But I did enjoy that they flipped that. Just all the little odes to the first one was awesome. Them jumping off the road and kind of cutting them off. I remember that scene. You're a little more fresh than me. I saw this last Wednesday, so it's gonna be like a week ago. Um, this was a great movie. It was a great movie. I can't wait to see it again. I'm taking my little brother here tomorrow, and I feel like he's gonna like it a lot too. Anything else you can think of you want to touch on
Oh yeah,
before we get out of here?
there actually is one thing I actually did find out about. Like the final scene at the airport where Tyler actually goes to Kate and actually tries to get the relationship, to be more like officially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that was awesome, yo. Because he was just thinking there, he's like, dang, do I take this chance and just run it, or do I go back, man? He had to pick it. What you got to say?
Yeah, apparently there was a scene that was cut where they actually filmed a scene where they actually kissed in the airport, but then Steven Spielberg, who's actually producer of the movie and also the movie was made by his production company, he was like, "Yeah, no, we're just gonna cut that out." And so instead, they went with the scene of like where they had like this tornado warning at the airport, and then we have them two just kind of having that look at each other and just be like, "Okay, we about to go."
Man, I thought the ending was great. I'm glad they took out the kiss, not even needed. Uh, what they did with the tornado warning was perfect, perfect ending.
Yeah, that's exactly what Steven
And
Spielberg thought because he thought that because they wanted to get that moment to where it's going to be feel like it's going to be where it's going to be like more of a continuation, and they're basically this relationship is more joined and shared, emphasized by the passion they share for chasing tornadoes, which I think is actually a really good, unique decision for this type of movie since again it's just like the original brought together by this passion of chasing tornadoes and getting this work done.
man, brought together by the Twisters.
Yeah, I
I'm
really
trying to
did
think.
like that.
Man, I like the whole movie, man. I'm trying to think of some other moments that I liked. I like that they brought her mom in instead of the aunt this time. That was pretty
Mm.
cool. Yeah. Trying to think of anything else, man. Everything was great about this movie.
Yeah, I will do. I will say this one little thing that Javi's partner in the movie. What's his name? His name was supposed to be. Let's see, what's his name? I think his name was. Oh yeah, Scott. Javi's business partner is Scott. Man,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really that dude, the actor who's playing him, David Cornsweet. He's the new Superman for James Gunn DCU, and this is pretty much like this is like the movie that we see him in before next year in 2025, where we see him as the new Superman. So I thought that's a nice little fun fact in
Okay, okay. That is a fun fact. Hmm. He's about to be in there. He's about to be on the big screen, man. He's Superman.
there.
Yeah. This is the
Yeah.
make or break point for him.
Oh yeah, make
About to
a
be
break.
Superman. Yeah.
Superman. It's gonna be a make or break point for the DCU for the DCU. That's for sure.
It really is, bro. This is a big moment for them.
Mm.
They really need to hit on this one. But getting back to Twisters, guys, go see this movie. Don't hate on this movie. This movie was 9 out of 10. I gave it a 9 simply because remakes are not good nowadays. Their sequels are not good nowadays. This one was awesome. So I gave it a 9, respectively. Deserves an 8 also from Alex. But this movie was great, yo. I go see this one. You will
Um,
not regret it. Any final comments on this?
oh, I will say give one final quote that they did for Tyler Skater. If you feel it, chase it.
If you feel it, chase it, man. This one, man, I don't have anything else. I really wish it was a little fresher on my mind, but this one was great. Go check it out in theaters. We'll be back with y'all for Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
It's not versus, it's just Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. I wanted them to fight. I thought the fight was gonna be legit.
Oh, they gonna fight. They gonna fight.
Okay, bet. All right, cool. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting, man. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Um, yeah, we'll be back with y'all for that. And hopefully it's good, man. It has a lot of hype around it.
Oh yeah.
Me and the little bro are
Yeah.
gonna go see that one too.
Especially with it being like Marvel's R-rated movie.
Man, I didn't even check that. I didn't even check that, man. I thought it was PG-13 or something. I didn't realize it was gonna be R.
Oh nah. If you're doing Deadpool and you're putting Wolverine in this and all that, no, it needs to be rated R.
Yeah.
Those are the type of characters that need to be in rated R films.
Okay. I agree, bro. I agree. Still taking my little bro.
He said, "Hey, your little bro gonna love it though. That's for sure. He gonna love it. He gonna."
Yeah. He is gonna love this thing. Yeah, we'll be back with y'all later this week with Deadpool and Wolverine. This has been the Big Screen Show. We're back. We're rolling, trying to get these reviews for you guys. Comment down in the comment section if there's a movie or a TV show that you want to see a review done by. What shows are you watching? What movies are you watching right now? Let us know. Anything you got, Alex?
I'll say we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Deadpool and Wolverine. We're out of this thing. Bye, guys. This was the Big Screen Show.